So up to this point, I uncover something that's kind of strange. And I call it the mystery. That may not be a mystery, but it might be a mystery. And I like to pose it to the society and get some feedback and thoughts from everybody. The church in Rio de Abajo lists Manuel born in 1717. And it also lists Juana born in 1726. And it lists the couple was married in 1759. He's born in 1717, but they're married in 1759. Okay? Nothing out of the ordinary here, too much. Their oldest son is born in July 1759, and they got married in May. He also lists his youngest born in 1773. Manuel was born in 1717. So maybe we all see where I'm going with this. Okay. Yeah, and she's 1726. So do the math here, right? Well, we look up some information and we know a few things. We know the recruits, according to Gilbert Dinn's book, are clear. They say you have to be from the ages of 17 to 36, and he says 45% of them came from Tenerife. Manuel's age in 1778 would have been 62. Clearly, he's not the recruit, right? His son, Antonio Vicente, his age is 19. Most likely, he's the recruit. Big question is, how come did the rest of the family come? I mean the family. So non-recruits arriving with family were not uncommon. There are several cases where the mothers and the mother-in-laws and other people were arriving with them. Be interested to find if there was a will and testament before Manuel or Antonio left. That happened on my Falcon side. Before they left, they actually left a will and testament to some of the other brothers and sisters and other family members before they left, telling a lot of information about the family. I'd be curious to know if that exists, because it would tell me maybe some more information. So what's really the mystery? Well, some have a hard time believing that they would have been that old. Juana's birth is 1726. Her last child, Jose's birth is 1772, 73. Juana's age is 47. Now look, Manuel would have been 56. That's old. That's old today. That would have been really old back then, right? So old to be bearing children, okay? So let's make that clear here. It's not impossible, but it makes you think, is there something else going on? Am I missing something? Has something been overlooked? Is there something there? And here's some possibilities. Maybe the ages of the parents were transcribed wrong. Maybe somehow on the paper it's illegible. And we think these are the dates, for example. That's one possibility. But the researcher did verify the dates on the paper. And you can see them in Bertha's book, fairly clear. Ages of the parents, maybe they were written incorrectly. That's possible. Maybe the priest wrote down incorrect dates. Maybe the parents gave them incorrect dates. Very possible, I suppose. Not very likely, though. Maybe we have the wrong parents. Maybe this is the wrong family altogether. We've got the wrong island with the wrong Manuel with the wrong Juana. Highly unlikely. How likely is that? And what are the odds that you would find the records with the exact husband and wife with those children names from the same area? Very unlikely. The baptism lists the parents with full names as well as some of the grandparents. So it's hard to believe that. And then, yes, sir?
In that beginning date, that 17 to 36, that was when they were recruiting for the army. Mm-hmm. And they didn't get the number, and they recruited men with families. Mm-hmm. Because there were several of the families came where the top male was older than 17 to 36.
I see. So it's very possible.
I'm doing most of the Canary Islands as far as genealogy, even the ones that are not related. And to me, they're very hardy people. So I don't find it unusual.
You don't find it unusual?
Because I see older dates of children when they're up in age. It's the hardiness of these families, particularly the Dominguez family and a family that's probably related to them because they're from the same towns. It's the Carbo family. They're both from the same area. And I suspect that it's very hardy, wherever that is, on Tenerife. very fast.
And given that scenario, that would make her fairly fertile at the age of 47.
Yeah.
And so,
Right.
but the last possibility I threw up there, well, maybe he was an adopted child. Maybe this was a child from someone else in the family, and they took him in, and there's his birth, and they baptized him with the names as a possibility. I leave this without an answer. The thoughts for the experts and how you feel, and maybe the case is this is not so out of the ordinary after all. It did strike me odd, and a few other people I spoke to as a little peculiar. So I wanted to bring it up today.
But if you look at St. Bernard, they live alone, it just depends on the family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So moving on. Yes, ma'am.
According to the researcher, because we talked about that,
Yeah.
it wasn't unusual.
Wasn't unusual. Okay, good. And that's good because I want people who are doing this research to understand maybe this is not an unusual thing. This is not an anomaly. Maybe this is not something that's transcribed incorrectly.
He's a professional researcher. He does this all the time. And he said it wasn't unusual because I questioned that too.
Good
I
deal.
thought he was awfully old to even come over here.
Right.